On an eerie, stormy and creepy night, the small town of Raven's Ridge was shrouded in a thick fog that seemed to seep into the very soul of the land. The wind howled through the gnarled trees, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers grasping for the elusive warmth of human touch. In the heart of the town stood an old, dilapidated mansion, its crumbling facade a testament to a forgotten era, and the secrets it held within its decaying walls. Among the tales whispered in hushed tones by the townsfolk, one story reigned supreme, a legend of a haunting at the mansion that had claimed the lives of all those who dared to unravel its mysteries. In a small cottage on the outskirts of Raven's Ridge, four friends, Grace, Thomas, Sarah, and Daniel, gathered around a crackling fireplace seeking solace from the relentless storm that raged outside. With nothing but the flickering fire to fend off the encroaching darkness, they decided to share tales to pass the time, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. As the storm intensified, Thomas began to recount the legend of the mansion, his voice barely audible above the tempest's fury. The story spoke of a family cursed by a vengeful spirit, their tormented souls bound to the mansion for all eternity. With each passing moment, the atmosphere in the cottage grew heavier, the air tinged with an otherworldly chill that seeped through the cracks in the walls. Grace's gaze darted toward the window, where she thought she glimpsed a shadowy figure moving through the fog. Her breath caught in her throat as she realized the figure bore an uncanny resemblance to the ghostly apparition Thomas had described. A sense of unease settled over the group, their laughter fading into nervous glances as the boundaries between reality and the supernatural began to blur. As they continued their storytelling, the storm intensified, its fury echoing the mounting tension within the cottage. The wind rattled the windows, and the sound of distant whispers seemed to drift through the air, weaving an intricate web of fear and apprehension that ensnared the group in its grasp. A sudden power outage plunged the cottage into darkness, leaving the group vulnerable to the encroaching shadows that seemed to materialize from the very heart of the storm. Grace's scream pierced the silence as a cold hand brushed her shoulder, its touch sending a surge of terror coursing through her veins. The others gasped as they too felt the spectral presence that lingered just beyond their line of sight, its intentions shrouded in an enigmatic veil of malevolence. As they huddled together, their frantic whispers barely audible over the relentless storm, they realized that the legend of the mansion had become their reality, and the vengeful spirit had set its sights on claiming their souls as its next victims. With no way to escape the cottage's confines, they prepared to face the entity that prowled the shadows, its hunger for retribution palpable in the electrified air. Through the night, the group grappled with the spectral forces that assailed them, their every move met with an ethereal resistance that threatened to consume them. They sought refuge in the dwindling embers of the fireplace, the flames flickering in rhythm with the entity's relentless pursuit, its form shifting and contorting with each strike against their fragile barricade. As the first light of dawn broke through the remnants of the storm, the group emerged from the cottage, their bodies weary and their minds haunted by the spectral encounter. The legend of the haunting at Raven's Ridge had etched itself into their memories, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked in the darkness, waiting to claim those who dared to venture too close to the edge of the supernatural abyss. From that night on, the town of Raven's Ridge became synonymous with the eerie, stormy, and creepy night that had tested the group's resilience and the limits of their belief in the unknown.